Hey, what's up? What's up? We back again with Let's Talk That Talk. This time we have Sedale Walton from the Justice League, captain, top scorer of the league, probably the MVP of this past season. So let's see what he got to say this episode. Talk That Talk. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Chilling, man.
What was your thoughts on this past season?
Season was good. It didn't end the way we would like for it to, but all in all, the season was pretty good.
Okay. So far, every episode that went up, your name was in every single one.
I know. I don't know what I did. I did something to somebody. I don't know if it was the 60 ball
or the 40, or the other 40,
yeah,
or the other 40.
I don't know, man. I upset somebody, so I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of your team, the Justice League, people talk, we listen. I'm at every game. What do you think happened in that game against Team AR that caused y'all to lose and get knocked out of the playoff?
I think rebounding was one of the main reasons why we lost. They got a lot of offensive rebounds, which didn't allow us to beat us.
Right.
We was a man down as far as Maurice coming late, which would have helped us with the boards. So I would say that kind of threw us off rhythm-wise too.
Right.
But I think offensive rebounding, that was the main thing, because we couldn't get out and run, and therefore those same opportunities that we normally have where people are open because of pushing the ball and the throw kickbacks for threes or layups, that just wasn't happening.
Right.
And just with their style of play, how they slowed everything down, it kind of, I don't know about my teammates, but I know it put me kind of in a rush mode.
Right.
Where I'm trying to make sure we get over that hump and get ahead, and just rushed a few shots that I probably shouldn't have, especially when I knew I had a few that rolled out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was just a combination of things. We didn't play our game. I wasn't efficient that game.
Oh, you wasn't efficient. You still was the leading scorer on your team, and you had 20 still.
Yeah, but it wasn't an efficient 20. People always say points, but anybody can score the ball if you shoot enough.
Right.
And I think since I was rushing the issue a lot that game, just because, the same things that make you great is the same thing that can also, be a downfall if you're not on your game. So
right.
Me being persistent and strong-willed, I kind of forced the issue instead of kind of putting more of my scheme hat on. Just because I felt like everything was in their favor. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't push the tempo to get them out of their positions. They're long and big on the back line. I can get past the guards, but then with the court being condensed, we couldn't kick out the way we needed to. So
right. I
was kind of forcing the issue, trying to make sure we get enough points, and just didn't have an efficient game.
Okay, cool. I get that. Now me, family. Like ever since I've been coming up here from Georgia, I knew you was always that guy to play your role. I go to Truman games. I go there. I wasn't expecting you to drop 60. I wasn't expecting you to drop 40. But I knew you always the humble person, step back to make sure people have to feed their egos. Or I can guarantee you get a double-double at least. Just the fact alone you're going to score. You're going to run the system to perfection. So as far as your role on the Justice League, it seemed like if you wasn't scoring 60, you were going to lose, or 40. Let's say you scored 60 once, and the rest of the games you scored 40 until that playoff game where you scored 20. Now, with you knowing your role and how you play the game, you've been sounding like a real captain right now, but did you expect more from your teammates during that game against Team AR?
Obviously the expectation, you can expect more, but like you said, it's just kind of been the role of this season.
Right.
I can't even say the team, it's just this season, it seemed like my role was to score. It just seems like my role this season was to have more of an Allen Iverson type of mindset, more of an Allen Iverson and Kobe mindset than I would say last year, when I can have basically just kind of just be me. I can score, I can pass, da da da.
Right.
This year it seemed more to where that I had to play more of the Allen Iverson role. So I mean, it's all about timing and what it is. Like I said, this year it seemed like it was more scoring that was needed.
Right.
And maybe in the championship or the playoff game, excuse me, it required me to go back to last season, but with coming into this season, how everything played out, it's like, well, this is just the feel of this season that I had to score. So I would say that it's not that everybody had to play a role and I expect more from them. I would say that due to how the season rolled out, it just wasn't required for them to play their role like last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So just like it's been times in games when it's time this season when shooters need to be shooters, but they're not knocking down shots. So big men need to be big men and take advantage of a play, and layups get missed. Just like it's probably been multiple times when I had a mismatch as well and I didn't take advantage of it.
Right.
So it just seemed more chances than not, it just required me to score. So that's just how kind of the ball rolled out this year.
Okay. I feel you.
But, you know, for a lot of, I don't know, maybe like I said, maybe it's the 60 ball, maybe it's because I did average the 46 or what it is.
Right.
I guess everybody in the league just labeled me as a scorer, which is, I mean, it's okay because obviously I was scoring, but it's kind of, you know what I'm saying, just like anything else, it's kind of disrespectful when you don't understand and see all the other things I can do.
Right.
So, I mean, but it is what it is. That's what this season required me to be a scorer. Just like Allen Iverson and Kobe, like everybody disrespects them and say, oh, they can't pass or all they do is shoot. But whenever push comes to shove, they are excellent playmakers.
Right.
So it's all about what is required.
Okay, so since you guys basically got knocked off by Team AR, who lost in the finals since the process. The process. Do you feel as though the best team in the league won the championship this season?
Yes and no. I do feel like the best team won because I think the process is, I don't know why everybody sleeps on them.
Right.
I don't know why, but I guess they're not flashy. You know what I mean? Especially, like, not trying to be old man Saddle. Really not. I always said that's not my goal when I get older, to be old man Saddle. I'm talking down to another generation or whatever. But everybody is so impatient, or everybody wants to flare because the flare is more exciting to your eyes, that you don't get to appreciate basketball. And the process know how to play basketball. They understand the game, they understand positioning, they understand the game of basketball. So by me, I always say this, everybody can play basketball, everybody doesn't comprehend basketball. Just like everybody can read, but everybody can't comprehend. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can get, anybody can read, someone can get a legal document from a lawyer and they can read it, but can they comprehend it and understand it? So that's how I view basketball. Right. So people who don't comprehend basketball, I feel, don't appreciate the Spurs, don't appreciate teams who play like the Spurs, therefore the process falls in that category. Right. But, you know what I'm saying, that's just their style of play and they get it done. So I do feel like the best team won. However, it is about matchups. You know, get what I'm saying? I just don't think, matchup-wise, Team AR don't match up well with them as far as their personnel, their scheme, and the mindset of the teams is too different to where I feel like the process kind of imposed their will, and that's why they were able to win against Team AR. Now, you know, if process was playing against a different team, it'll be a different story. But that's what I'm saying when it's all about matchups and stuff like that. So, but at the end of the day, they won. So the best team did win. Okay. So do you think Team AR wasn't the best matchup for the process? I know your team, the Justice League, was the only team to beat them in the regular season. Were you guys a better matchup and probably could have not just competed in that 3-game series, but could have won that 3-game series with the 6 that you had? Us in the process in the 3-game series, we would have won. Not saying it would have been easier to have been a sweep because the process competes. It can be down 20, down 30, and they still going to compete. But that's what I like about them. That's what I like about them. the game is meant to compete. It's not that, oh, we down 12 and we just going to call it a game and just let them run it out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As a unit, you got to still compete. But us versus them in a 3-game series, I think we would have won just because of how we match up and how, just because of the style of play that I know they're trying to play, I understand my mentality and how I would scheme against it. Right. So just like how we were pretty effective, and then when we played them in the regular season, you know, by playing, when you have to play somebody at a minimum 2 times, so we played them in the regular season. If we would have played them in the championship game, that'd have been twice we played them, which means we get an understanding of each other. And then it's like you got to beat them twice. So that would have been 3 times that you had as far as competing to understand who does what. Right. So it's like after the first playoff championship game, you would have the time to actually tell your teammates and talk to them and get the scheming. So, but I think matchup wise, when you have guard play, as far as myself, to where I know all 10 of their eyes is going to be on me, that's when the shooters go off. Right. That's when they get all eyes on me. Big Mo gets a dump off. Ty got a dump off. And then if we get defensive rebound, Saeed is out. Right. Doug is out. So that's just how I feel about that matchup if we would have went against them.
Okay. Okay, speaking of the guys you just named, one name you forgot to mention was Andrew.
No, I said shooters.
Oh,
yeah, so
shooters.
You know what I'm saying? That's when I said eyeballs and shooters.
Okay.
Even though I feel Duke had a little bit of a rough shooting season this year. I mean, it happens. You got to think about it. He kind of had no chance to get in rhythm. Right. You get what I'm saying? It's like the shots he had was the shots he was getting, and on top of that, I'm getting the shots I'm getting, and until the playoff game, I was hitting. So it's only but so many shots. You get what I'm saying? So he couldn't shoot himself into rhythm. So, but not that he had a bad season. It wasn't the season that he typically has. Right. So. Okay.
Maybe he get better the next season, right?
I mean, he will. And you know, we about to form the 18, so we making phone calls. So.
Oh, all right, cool. So with that being said, you know, basically everybody's playing on a 1-year contract, you know, in this league, you know. Yeah. But you don't have to speak on it. If you don't want to, it's fine. Every team's looking to get better. Mm-hmm. Everybody's looking for that, you know, LeBron to South Beach or that Kevin Durant to, you know, Golden State. Everybody's looking for that move. So as of right now, you know what you're doing and what team you will be on next year?
I know the core is going to stay the same as far as me, Andrew, and Mo. Right. We're just looking to add pieces. I know a lot of the past 2 seasons, we supposed to have people who's on our team that we normally play with who was unable to. Right. So just checking in with them, seeing if hopefully their schedules open up to where, you know, we can get them and add them more. So, as long as they able to go, we'll be more than fine. And then maybe everybody respect me for being the point guard I am, not just someone out there trying to average 40-something.
All right, cool. So, point guards, you know, you think about point guards. We got you on the Justice League. The Thundercats have Eric, who has the first triple-double. Mm-hmm. You know, by the stats, by the paper, you know, the first season we didn't even keep the assist and rebounds. But let's say, as right now, he had the first triple-double. Mm-hmm. We had Josh from Sparkplug from last season. Right. This season we had, I don't even know who the point guard was on the process, but, you know, they all just play their role. Yeah. Kwani point guard on Team AR, Johnny on Dream Nation. You know, just people point guards, period. So, out of all the point guards in the league, who was the top 3 that was the best? Just names, if you can remember.
Top 3. Myself is number 1. I did not see the guy from Thundercats. You said his name is Eric?
Yeah, Eric.
Okay, I didn't see any of their games. Heard stuff, but I like seeing stuff for myself. Right. When we played them, I happened to miss that game. So I would say myself. Trying to think. Number 2, I'm just going off the top of my head. I would say Taquan.
Okay, that's Kwani.
And see, Birdman team, they just whoever brings the ball up.
Somebody on that team.
You get what I'm saying? So, so I'm just trying to think of all the teams. Of who I can't think of a third, but you know, because I would say whoever the guard was from Birdman, they had a kind of a rotation thing. They had the young guy at one time, him, the younger guy, and then they have someone else bring it up. But they backcourt was pretty solid too, as far as whoever ran their point.
Okay, let's take that to big men.
Hold on, but why everybody be hating on Kwame?
Yo, speak on it, please.
I'm just,
because like Kwame like you plays.
I don't know. I don't understand it. Like me myself, obviously. So don't take this. I mean, y'all can take it biasly because y'all probably know Taquan is my little cousin, but I don't see nothing wrong with you running your mouth and playing defense. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not a trash talker, meaning I don't initiate.
Right.
I you know what I'm saying? I'm the type where don't talk junk to me because let the sleeping dog lie. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wake me up, that's when I get the job. But I don't never initiate it. That just never been my thing. I always had teammates to run their mouth. So it was like if they running their mouth, we all running their mouths. Someone gotta be conscious enough to just, you know what I'm saying, scheme for the game. Right. So, but you know what I'm saying? Like I got the capability to talk when I want to talk, but I don't know why everybody be down on Taquan. To me, Kwame is a good point guard. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're looking at scoring or shooting, yeah, he may not have shot the ball the way anybody would like to, but you gotta think about it. How often does he play during the week? Right. You get what I'm saying? That's another thing. I don't expect nobody, like, I'm 30, I actually forget how old I am all the time, so I gotta do the math. I'll be 33 in February, and I still think of basketball like I was 10, 11, 12, 13, where I look to play or I'm going to play every day still. Right. My kids will tell you, I kidnap them and they go to the gym with me. So I don't expect nobody to play every day like me, but Taquan's a solid point guard. He runs their team, they scheme is right, he gets it to where he wants to get, and he plays defense. So I don't understand, like I said, it might be the trash talking. People don't like the trash talking part. So I don't know. I don't get why everybody I don't get why people down on the process. I don't get why people down on Taquan, but if you play hard, I'm always gonna be a fan of that. So maybe that's just me. Okay. Speaking of, we gonna come back to Kwame, but let's take it. You can't really think of all the point guards on top of your head. So can we go with the best big men? The best bigs. 3 of them. The best bigs. I can name 3. Yeah, the three bigs I would say is pretty easy. I would say Jonathan from AR. Okay. Just because I like how Jonathan plays his position. It ain't all about points. Jonathan rebounds for that team. He's literally like the Kevin Garnett of that defense. Like you hear him all the time in the back talking, which obviously makes you solid defensively when you have communication. So I would go there. I would go with mind you, I missed 2 games, so I don't know all the teams. But I would say Jonathan, I would say I'm going to go with Big Mo just because of the attention, the man he gets when he's in the paint. And even though they don't give him a lot of whistles, I think he should get, but that's just me. And then I would go with Mutt because what Jonathan does allow Mutt to be Mutt. Right. By him vocalizing being the anchor, you may get a weak side rebound and try to go back up, but don't know Buckman's right behind you waiting to block you. Gotcha. Because you're looking at Jonathan. Gotcha. So it allowed. That's why they work well together as far as they back line. All right. We're gonna go back to Kwame. Okay. You said Kwame is a good defender. He talks a lot of trash. He's a good point guard, solid, good basketball player. With him talking trash, just a quick question: could he strap you up? He knows that. It ain't happening. It's cool. It's cool. Like I say, he's a good player, but at the same time, me being the bigger cousin, it can't happen. Even if let's say if I was 50 and we was playing in the league and he probably is physically able to trash me. Excuse me. But yeah, Kwame, he can't strap me. Now, it's not a knock against him, but me being the bigger cousin, you can't let the little cousin get the upper hand on it.
Right.
Anybody that has a younger sibling, bigger, little, or cousins or whatever, you can't let them get the upper hand. You just can't. Even if I was 50 and Kwani's still hooping, it can't happen. I'm either foul out or I'm a grab. You get what I'm saying? Even when you don't got it, you can't let them win. That's just the thing. So, but no, Kwani, he can't strap it because it's like I understand his mentality defensively, and I know what he's trying to do.
Right.
It's not like he's playing against somebody who's probably his age or doesn't understand or comprehend the game that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I know the whole scheme of it. So, but nah, it ain't happening.
All right. Well, you've seen the previous interview, the last one, but we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Get to that in a second.
Okay.
But sticking to big men, other than not big men, but speaking of the league, period. Other than yourself, who do you feel was able to be, the MVP if we had it this year?
MVP, I think. Who's the lefty on Birdman? Is that Birdman the lefty?
I'm not sure. Dave, the one who yells the most.
Nah, he's the lefty. I think they said his name is Anthony.
Oh, Anthony is Birdman.
Oh, okay, then yeah, that's him. Okay.
Oh yeah, Birdman.
See, I'm about to say, I don't be knowing people governments, but I think he was an MVP candidate for that team. I haven't played against him, but I seen him last year, and he was on the blue team. Corey.
Corey, yeah.
He got his game is well put together. I would say, trying to think of another team, and I would say Kwani from AR is another MVP candidate, and it's just because of the value that they each have
right
to their team. If you remove them, they're going to look completely different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even though the process they system that they run is still going to look a little different. Like they honestly are like the rec league Spurs. So it's like when you take Kawhi Leonard out the Spurs are still going to be the Spurs and a quality team because they're going to fight, but they just look different.
Right.
So that's what I would say about Anthony. And then like I said, I didn't see the blue team actually play, but I remember when I came in to play a game, I seen that the guy Corey was on the blue team, and he got a game that's well put together. So I remember that from last year. So
right.
I would say them three.
Yeah, couldn't go wrong with any one of those. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Let's talk about the worst players you've seen this season. If you can, give me three. I know one that we talked about before you even sat down. You hit me up right away when you seen some of the chirping that was going on the D-League Basketball Facebook page. Make sure y'all follow that.
Yeah.
Give me three, starting with number 3, if you can. If you only got one name you want to say, just get right to it and save the worst one for last, if you can.
Give you 3.
The worst players in this season.
Of this season, I would say 3. I may not have 3. I could think. I got outside the one we talked about. I got one, and it's not that he's the worst.
But
his skill set is so it can be such a variety, but he chooses to focus on the one. And it's not that he don't do it good. It's just that use it all and watch how it opens up the one that you like to do, which is John Amparo. And I don't know if because that floor is condensed.
Right.
But he focuses on his shooting. And he's so much more than just sitting behind that 3-point line. Right. And I guess that it's not that he's the worst, like I said, it's just that it frustrates me because I played with John a few times. We played in Jersey, in the old league. He played with me like in Northeast Philly. And it's like he he got so much of a skill set. Like, he could go inside. He should be inside. Not that he can bully anybody because he got a thin frame. But 2 dribbles and a pull up over somebody, he would be deadly. He get 3 or 4 of those, they're gonna start pushing him out, and then he gets the jumper where he wants to be.
Right.
So it's more so it's like he got a whole pie and he's only eating out of this section.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, yo, get to the whole pie, baby. Like he would be so lethal if he just get to the rest of the pie. But so like I said, he's not so much worse. It's more so with me. Just I guess since that's kind of like my young boy, I know his skill set and he can do more than just than that. But
okay, so who is
the worst? The worst is Tyheem. Like Tyheem was like, and it's like the
Tyheem that played with you
that played with me, right? And it's because he doesn't comprehend basketball. It's the difference between you knowing basketball, like you know the rules. Yeah, you know the rules. You know you shoot at one end, you go on the other, you play defense. Like you know the purpose of the game, but doesn't comprehend it. And for him to be in this episode, I'm about to be on my Stephen A. Smith, the blasphemous of him saying, look, first off, he said he's going to hold me to 10 points or under. Only person to hold me under 10 points, his name was Mike Stock. You know what I'm saying? And I was my high school coach. You know what I'm saying? The second thing is, then he said he going to hold me to a goose egg. 0.
He said it loud and proud.
Look. Unless he planned on giving me food poisoning the day before the game or the day of the game, that's the only way I'm going to get a donut. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, he probably going to get my 10-year-old under 10. He couldn't keep my 9-year-old probably under 10.
That's crazy.
And it's, like I said, it's just crazy. Like, I never seen... Like I said, blasphemous. Like I just don't get it. And it's like you said, he just doesn't comprehend basketball. You don't understand positioning. So it's like for him to call out anybody. You get what I'm saying? He had a laundry list of who he called out. So for him to call out anybody, that was crazy to begin with. So, but I mean, he was talking for a reason. So I hope he can back it up because. Like I said, not to be old man saddle, but you young kids need to start doing your homework. That's all I'm going to say. There's a difference between seeing Sedale playing and then you seeing a motivated Sedale playing. You get what I'm saying? Back about day, we had to do a little homework. You just ain't talk fly about somebody without having facts and evidence that, they can't play, period. Like I seen them. When the pressure came, I seen how they came, and it happened more than once. You know what I mean? Like when they start talking to him, he folded up like a blanket. You know what I'm saying? Like, do your homework. When you talk fly, this is the thing. It's not Sedale when you introduce or speak of my name in basketball terms. It is Saddle. It is a name that I earned. Why? Strap up and enjoy the ride. So when you speak and say, I'm going to lock Saddle up. Do your homework, young fella. There was many leagues in Bloomsdale. You probably can ask your uncles. You probably can ask your cousins. Saddle gave out work. And I'm going to keep giving out work till they put me in dirt. Please believe that. I'm going to be that 80-year-old in rec league still giving havoc. You know what I'm saying? So all on my Birdman voice, put some respect on my name. That's all I ask. Like, sheesh.
So, with him... going to a new team raid, he forming up with another player, Saeed that played with you.
Okay.
And the other name he tagged on Facebook was James Clowney. So I don't know if you know them more than, what you've seen that they played with you. Are you going to lose any sleep over team raids?
I don't just sleep over nothing when it comes to basketball because I can roll out in bed and get it. So it don't matter to me. Like, I think that's what people fail to realize. Like, I played this game, dog. Like, it's like I'm good wherever I go. Like, I traveled this world and played this game. I'm good wherever I go.
Okay. Is there anybody else you want to put on notice that you want to say, get at me?
No, not really. I ain't calling out nobody. I mean, you jump out there on that island. I mean, you see what it's hitting for. I mean, like for the most part, it's respectful competition in this league. But that last interview, that was just some disrespectful stuff. Hold me under 10, and then you gonna say 0? and this is the thing. It's not the fact that he said it, because look, it's America. You got a right to say what you want to say, right? It's the fact that you can tell when he's saying it. There's no nervousness. There is conviction in his statement. His voice ain't flutter. It didn't go up, down, like he ain't shaking nothing. So he actually believes he can hold me to 10 or less. All I'm saying is he's going to enjoy this ride when we play. That's all I'm going to say. He's going to, look, I may not get a 60 ball, but it's going to feel like 60 when he out on that island by himself. You know? And don't none of his new teammates save him. If he try to switch, trust me, I'm going to call for a pick and roll that way and make y'all switch. Like, don't save him. Look, you can't be writing checks that you can't cash. It's not in your account. It's just not there.
Right. Okay. We about to get ready to wrap this up, but one more question.
All right.
One more question. This is a curveball. Now, there's some monsters around, around the town. You know, people know them from scoring basketball, period, other than yourself. Mm-hmm. Now, you know the names. I'm just going to ask them to you, but I'm going to ask you in a question.
Okay.
I know you from back in the day, but my whole life. Mm-hmm. The family know you, the grandparents know you as Alley. So you got a team called Alley Cats, just started in the NBA.
Okay.
You got a #1 draft pick.
Okay.
Now the draft class got the Ball brothers in there. Now we have Tayron Thomas and Tyrone Lewis also in that class.
Okay.
But they're clearly #1 and 2.
Okay.
There's nobody on your roster. You have to build the team around them. This is not asking who's the better basketball player, who's the better scorer. Well, I guess it is about asking who's the better basketball player. Mm-hmm. But you're the GM of the team, of the Alley Cats. You got first pick. Who are you picking?
I'll take Tay.
Tayron?
I'll take Tayron.
You care to speak on why?
Tayron would be my first pick just because outside of his gifts and skill set, it's like he understands the game. And since I'm the GM and I know how I know how you have to kind of manipulate Tayron to motivate him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I would pick him. And plus his size. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, us as smaller guards, we kind of, you know what I'm saying, you can get kind of caught up in a bad matchup sometimes.
Right.
If you get another guard, your height, who moves and do everything you do, it can kind of make it a little difficult for you to maneuver. But I think with Tayron's size, like I said, his skill set, his scoring ability, I think that'll just, that'll be more beneficial to my team. And it's like, as far as Tyrone is a better athlete, but it's because Tayron is taller version, and he's just as athletic. It's not like the drop off is Tyrone's on the 5th floor and Tay's on the 2nd. Tyrone athleticism on the 5th floor, Tay is on the 4th. You know what I'm saying? And I think the only reason why, obviously, I guess I could say the reason why I'm rating it is because when you short and you jump high and run fast, it just looks different. Right. But Tayron's explosive, so to be honest, they're actually on the same floor as far as athleticism. You get what I'm saying? I seen him play with Tay. I seen Tay literally go get something between the white box and the top of the glass and go snatch somebody's stuff off of it. So it's just that, you know what I'm saying? Like Tyrone, mind you, people actually misjudge Tyrone as far as him just being an athlete, like he cannot even shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? But Tyrone can actually shoot the ball, but it's how they get their points. Right. Is what I prefer. And I prefer how Tay get his points versus how Ty get his. Right. And like I said, and that size difference does make a difference.
I mean, I'm gonna do my best, try to get that game to happen.
Bring
So
the gang out, man. Look,
Bring
it's
the
gonna
gang
be
out.
fun. Bring the gang out.
Bring them old timers out.
Tell Freaky Ty to come out. Come out, have some fun. Tell Tay to come on out. Like, maybe we gotta do some little motivation with Tay, man. I gotta do something. Gotta pull him out there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I gotta pull some strings, try to get Sherm to come out. You know, Sherm be acting funny too. Maybe I gotta pull some strings, try to get him out.
Yeah,
but bring the gang out. It'll be fun, man.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, but we bring the gang out, man. It's gonna be fun. Like, I like the interviews. I like the talking junk, even though the one was blasphemous. But you know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it rolling, keep it competitive. I mean, just I got this advice for anybody interviewing Africans. I don't mind if you call for me. Just understand. Excuse me. Just understand. Don't get bad when you get what you asked for. You get what I'm saying? Everybody done had their grandma told them, you go ahead and cut up if you want to. When that behind whooping come back to you, I don't want to hear nothing. That's all I'm going to say. Call for me if you want to. Look, nobody likes seeing Freddie in their dreams, dog. Nobody likes seeing Freddie in their dreams, man. So this is fun. This is good. I like the league. It's competitive. Everybody competes. It's all love, man. But this is Sedale Walton. I just talked that talk.